You guys, we seriously need to talk about Nia from Dance Moms because she just exposed Abby Lee in her brand new book, and what she's revealing has everyone stunned. We've all heard stories about Abby Lee before, but these new details, they're on another level. Fans are in shock reading what Abby actually said to her, and now people are even turning on Nia's mom for not pulling her out of the studio sooner. But stay with me, because her mom has spoken out, and we're going to go through everything. What Nia wrote, how her mom responded, and what's in this book that's got everyone talking. Last time we covered Dance Moms, it was around the Lifetime reunion special. Remember that? But 3 huge names were missing: Maddie, Kenzie, and Nia. They didn't join the official taping, but before that, the 3 met up privately with some of the other girls. It was actually really sweet, a moment that showed those friendships are still real, even without the cameras. Of course, not everyone was thrilled.
The reason is quite simple. I just really didn't want to do it. Yeah, it's pretty plain and simple. I just didn't want to do it. Some people think it was because I had sorority stuff. Nope, I didn't. Some people think it's because I'm in school. I am in school, but it wouldn't have been an issue. I just didn't want to do it. And that's a good enough answer, and that's a good enough reason.
While most OG Dance Moms fans found the little get-together adorable, Connie and JoJo weren't invited. They were reportedly upset during the reunion taping.
And something I wanted to say is I think almost in any interview I've done when someone has asked me about the show, I always say that I'm grateful for it. It's where I came from. It's how I got my start. It's the reason why I have such an amazing life now. Truly, like, I love my life. I have a fabulous life and I'm truly enjoying it. But yeah, you can go back to other like videos or interviews I've done. I always say that I'm grateful for the show. It's not that I'm not grateful for it. I've always been grateful for it. It's not that.
When it came time to film, Nia, Maddie, and Kenzie all sat it out. And when Nia was asked why, she said she simply didn't want to go back, and that should be reason enough. Honestly, she was right. She still made it clear she was grateful for the opportunities, the friendships, but she was done reliving that chapter. Now we finally know why. Nia's just released her memoir, Bottom of the Pyramid, a memoir of persevering, dancing for myself, and starring in my own life. And she is not holding back. She opens up about everything she went through on Dance Moms, and some of it isn't just shocking, it's genuinely upsetting. One of the biggest revelations? Nia claims Abby Lee Miller actually tried to bribe someone not to work with her. Yes, a bribe. According to Nia, when she began working with singer Aubrey O'Day as a music mentor, Abby lost it. She allegedly walked into the room in front of the other girls and offered Aubrey $10,000 not to work with Nia anymore. Nia says she ran out of the studio in tears. It was all caught on camera, but producers heavily edited the footage before it aired. She believes they cut it to protect Abby and the show itself. And honestly, hearing that producers might have covered it up isn't that surprising. But letting that behavior slide, that's disturbing. It's exactly why so many Dance Moms girls have spoken out, saying producers never cared how the drama affected them. But that's not the only thing Nia exposes. She also talks about the constant microaggressions and even racist remarks she says she endured from Abby over the years. She lays out specific examples that have left people speechless. In Bottom of the Pyramid, Nia recalls one season 2 incident when she wore her hair in braids, something production had approved. Abby still told her she needed to fix her hair because it looked awful, even comparing it on camera to a log coming out of the side of her head. Another moment, which never aired, allegedly had Abby asking her, "Don't you wish you had white girl hair?" Nia writes that she was shocked, but answered no. Abby pressed, "Oh really? You don't think it would be easier?" And again, she said no.
Yes, she would shame the girls. Kenzie still calls her stomach Bob. It's terrible. I mean, she would always, touch her stomach. She would tell Nia she has flat feet. And she was like, "Maddie, what's wrong with your teeth?" And, she made fun of Chloe's eye, Brooke's way back. I mean, like, Brooke doesn't have a sway back. She just was very flexible. So that's how she stood. She always made fun of the kids. And she wasn't perfect.
Because she didn't want to be white. It didn't air, but that comment stuck with her. She goes on to describe how Abby's comments about her body got worse as time went on. At one point, Abby even implied that Black people were physically predisposed to having flat feet. When Nia struggled to point her foot, Abby allegedly said, "If you don't point that foot, I'm going to come out there and break it." Nia writes that Abby often claimed, "Well, your people have flat feet." She called it ignorant. pointing out that she knows plenty of black dancers with perfect arches. Yet Abby supposedly used that false belief to humiliate her, threatening punishment for something she couldn't control. Body shaming came up too. Nia recalls Abby talking about the size of her thighs during season 6, suggesting she was fat because she wasn't working hard enough. Those comments created an image that she was lazy or weak as a dancer, and viewers, even some castmates, believed it. We've all seen Abby call out the girls' bodies on the show. Melissa, Maddie, and Kenzie's mom once shared in a YouTube video that Abby even had a nickname for Kenzie's tummy. Nia also says some of her choreography carried racial undertones. One routine, for instance, was themed around a child abandoned in the wild and raised by monkeys, a storyline she found incredibly uncomfortable as the only black girl on the team. Her first solo before the show was to a song called Natty of the Jungle, again about a child raised by monkeys, followed by Satan's Little Lamb when she was only 8. Her mom often challenged those choices, but sometimes stayed quiet because Nia was too young to see the undertones. She was just thrilled to dance. All of it left Nia feeling isolated. Week after week, she was stuck at the bottom of the pyramid. Being the only black dancer for most of her time on the show made her feel like she had to work twice as hard just to be noticed. And that's exactly why naming her memoir Bottom of the Pyramid is so powerful. She's reclaiming it. Nia writes that her mom would often confront Abby about those routines, but sometimes she had to hold back. Nia was too young then to recognize the racial undertones in what she was being asked to perform. She was just excited to be dancing. All of this built up into what Nia describes as a painfully isolating experience. She says she was stuck at the bottom of the pyramid week after week, and that being the only black dancer for most of her time on the show made her feel like she had to work twice as hard.
Some of you are being manipulative by trying to deflect the issue onto me. The issue's not me. This is Nia's story. Bottom of the pyramid is her story. Do not invalidate her experience by trying to shift the blame on her mother. Shame on you. You should be embarrassed. That is such an ignorant low blow, and it's so inaccurate. This is about someone who did not do their job. No one was hired to be evil or cruel. So let's get something clear. I'm grown. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe anyone anything. And guess what? Nia's grown too. She doesn't have to ask anyone for permission to do anything. But what she wanted to do was share her story because so many people have had questions. So many people have been touched by her experiences, and she wanted to share because she knows other people can identify and relate, and she's not alone. But what we're not going to do is manipulate the truth and a narrative to fit your own agenda because you don't want to hold certain people accountable. That is something we're not going to do. So in case you forgot, I take my keys from my kids. I've been silent. I don't need dance moms. I don't need to talk about it. As you can see, I very rarely ever talk about it. This is Nia's story, but I have to come out every now and then just to remind, we're not gonna take advantage and do my kid wrong.
Just to be noticed. And if you remember that iconic pyramid, you know exactly how symbolic it is that she chose to name her memoir Bottom of the Pyramid.
Welcome to dance costumes. That should have been canceled. I know, sure, I know. Starting off strong with my first solo costume. This was pre-show days. I was 7 years old, and this routine was titled Natty of the Jungle. The story was, I was a little girl raised by monkeys in the jungle. Canceled. Next, we have this costume. I didn't think that this was controversial until someone brought it to my attention recently. The name of this routine was Bound. And I was like, you know what? Whatever context that comes in should just be canceled. Canceled! The last one for today. This is quite something. I don't know what the name was on the show of this, but this was called Free at Last, and I'm just gonna let you guys take it from there. For more stories behind the costumes, get my book Bottom of the Pyramid, out November 4th.
She's reclaiming it, taking back what it represented for her all those years. It's clear she still carries a lot of trauma from Dance Moms, and she's not alone. Many of the other girls have opened up about their experiences too. Yes, Dance Moms was technically a reality show, but for these kids, it wasn't just a show. This was their real life, their real mentor, their actual actual childhood. The original girls had no idea what they were signing up for. They were just kids. And the project started as a one-time special about their studio. No one expected it to turn into a full-blown reality show. One that, let's be honest, probably wouldn't even be allowed on TV today, with how Abby spoke to and treated the girls and their moms. And that's the thing. None of this is all that shocking when you think about it. We saw it. We saw Abby yell at those girls, pit them against each other, shame their bodies, mock their appearances, and treat them like they were grown professional dancers instead of children. And over the years, the girls have shared how that affected them deeply, mentally, emotionally, even physically. Some of the moms have said Abby wasn't always like that before the fame, she was actually kind. But as the show went on, she turned into this over-the-top version of herself, this character that producers encouraged. So when you hear everything Nia's saying, everything the other girls have said, it makes it even harder to watch people like JoJo Siwa still defend Abby today. Because yes, it's true that Abby helped some of them build their careers, but that doesn't erase the pain or the harm others say they endured. Two things can be true at once. Abby helped certain girls succeed, but she also created a toxic environment where others felt small, belittled, and traumatized. And now, a lot of people are directing their frustration toward the moms. They're asking, why didn't Nia's mom pull her out? Why keep her there? Her mom has actually been responding to those comments since the book came out, addressing exactly that, why she made the choices she did. Nia has also been posting clips of some of her old controversial dance costumes, and honestly, some of them would be canceled in a second if they appeared on TV today. But one part of the book that's really getting attention involves Kendall. Nia writes, open quote, "I remember another teammate, Kendall Vertes, who joined the team in season 2, rolling her eyes whenever she found out we were paired for a duet. To see firsthand that someone didn't want to dance with me really stung," close quote. And now people are coming for Kendall in the comments, asking why she acted that way toward Nia. We don't know if she felt pressured because of how Abby treated Nia, or if it was something else entirely. But either way, fans are upset. Nia isn't holding back anymore. She's naming names, she's putting it all out there, and she's finally telling her side of the story. And while we've heard bits and pieces from other girls before, this time we're really hearing Nia's truth, her full experience from her own perspective. So I really want to know what you think about what Nia revealed about Abby and everything we talked about today. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.